Let's talk about how to win a real estate bidding war. You need to know what your best weapons are in your arsenal to make sure you present a winning offer when you find the house of your dreams. Sometimes you're gonna find a house that you fall in love with only to find out that 6 other people love it as much as you do as well. You don't wanna lose this house. You've been out there searching for the right house for weeks, maybe months, but you find yourself having little issues with each one of them. So what do you do to make sure you're presenting the offer that's gonna win the bidding war? The first and most important thing, and I'm not saying this because I'm a realtor, you need to make sure you're working with a realtor who knows exactly how to present a contract properly. I've seen so many different types of offers that these agents send through, and honestly, it's a little bit of a disgrace. I ask myself, do you have any pride in the way you put these offers together? Some of these things are missing documents. Some of them come over with no offer summary at all. Now, you as a buyer and a buyer's agent always want to put your best foot forward while presenting an offer. If you're not even going to break down the offer for the seller and the seller's agent, you're probably not servicing your client to the best of your ability. But an agent should also be doing so much more than just presenting a great offer. Here at Sachs Realty, we abide by a system of presenting offers the exact same way every single time. You have to do it with a certain level of professionalism and detail. The detail is what's the most important to set yourself aside from the rest of the competitors. But your agent needs to get on the phone and communicate with the seller's agent prior to ever sending an offer in. You need to know what you're up against. Your offer is going to be different on a property that has no offers opposed to one with 5. Your agent should be finding out how many offers you're competing against. They should be asking what type of offer is going to be needed to win the day. The sellers are not allowed to tell you what the terms are that you're up against, but they sure can give you a good idea what the seller's looking for. Sometimes these conversations can yield info that you need to make sure that you're putting your clients in the best position to win. You don't realize how far these calls can go. Sometimes in these multiple offer situations, only 1 or 2 of the people are actually calling to reach out to the seller's agent. I can tell you this, they're the ones putting their client in the best position. It takes 2 minutes to make a phone call that can ensure a lifetime for your client to have their dream home. But wait, there's more. Another huge piece of the puzzle when trying to win a bidding war is to have the right lender. Having a direct lender that underwrites their own loans goes so far in these transactions. They're able to make decisions on the spot that banks and brokers sometimes can't make. On top of that, if you're dealing with a true mortgage professional like the people in my network, you're gonna have a loan specialist who's gonna call the seller's agent and let them know they have a fully qualified borrower who's gonna be able to close on time. The goal there is to give them the confidence when they're considering all offers that your offer is the right one. Of course, if you have the ability to provide cash, you're always gonna be in the best position for many reasons. Number 1, the sale's gonna have less contingencies. No real appraisals necessary, financing's no longer a contingency, and the transaction can close much quicker. That's why the term cash is king is so widely used in real estate. But this isn't common in most transactions, so you don't have to worry about it too much if you're financing your next purchase. One of the things I just mentioned was contingencies. You have to put yourself in the seller's position to understand why less contingencies tend to help during the offer process. The more contingencies a seller has to deal with, the more it becomes likely that they're gonna have a transaction that falls through. Contingencies can be financing, appraisal, home inspection, a pending home sale that has to go through in order for the client to have the funds to purchase. There are only 2 of these that you can avoid to strengthen your offer if you're financing your purchase. The first one is to waive your right to terminate your contract based on inspection. I personally would never recommend that somebody completely waive inspections because you need to know everything about your new house. But you always have the right to ask for inspections and choose to terminate your contract if there was a bunch of damage to the house that you didn't see that would have prevented you from making the offer on the house. From the seller's position, you can see why, if an offer decides to waive inspections, it puts the seller in a much less risky situation. Either way, the person buying the home should get an inspection. But this is a tool that you have if you're trying to win the offer and you're comfortable with it. The second one is that if you're not selling a property that your new purchase is contingent on, you put yourself in an even better position. Once again, put yourself in the seller's position. They know that contracts fall through sometimes, and no seller wants to pull their property off the market for a month just to find out that the buyer of their house had the sale of their house fall through. Having this tool in your tool belt while making an offer can make a big difference. But if you do have a house to sell and you still like to win the offer, but you're worried it might not work because of the contingency, you always have the option of trying to get approved without having to sell the house. This is a way to avoid that contingency. But in reality, most people buying their next home don't have the income to support both mortgages. And that's exactly what would have to happen for you to utilize this option. My goal is to win every offer that we make, but in some cases, people are going to wildly overbid for a property in order to win that offer. Sometimes this isn't a game you want to get into. Walking into a house with negative equity or having to come up with a great deal of cash to win is not good for most people. It's okay to overbid within reason, but some of these bids are $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over asking price. You need to ask yourself as a buyer, is this the type of bidding war you want to be in? I've had clients bid $10,000 over asking price to win their dream home, and they were as happy as you could ever be with everything, including the terms. Everybody has a different threshold for what they're comfortable with. Now that we've covered the best ways to win a bidding war, let's summarize how to make sure you're presenting the offer that gives you the best chance to win. Number one, use a realtor that's going to put a perfect contract together. They should also make sure they're contacting the listing side about the offer to provide confidence in that offer. Number two, your lender. Make sure you're using a direct lender that's going to reach out to the selling agent to solidify your deal. The lender can make a huge difference. Number three, cash is king. If you have the ability to provide a cash offer, you pretty much put yourself in the best position right out of the gate. These offers are normally the ones that are accepted. Number four, inspections. You have the option to waive your right to terminate your contract based on inspections to strengthen your offer. But please always get inspection for your own personal knowledge on your house. Number five, the sale of an existing house contingency. If you don't have a house to sell, you're already in a stronger position. And number six, offering over asking price. Use caution based on home values and how much you're willing to part with. Everyone's threshold is different, so make sure you're comfortable with the amount of your offer. I really hope this info is helpful to anybody looking to buy a house in the near or distant future. I'm always here to assist anybody who needs help or advice to put themselves in the best position for their next home purchase. Please take a second to hit the subscribe button, like, comment to the video if you'd like to see more content about the current housing market. I'll catch you guys next time.